You guys have the ones that are like articulated and fancy on your desks. Mine
With
was
the arm.
like, yeah, mine was literally cost 13 cents on an Amazon special, and it was like, hey, this is a microphone. And I was like, you know what? You
You're
had me
right,
at
it is.
microphone.
I
I w-
like the arm, but I also I need a stand. Sometimes it's just so much easier to just get a stand and move it around. Oh my goodness, that mic is so cute. It's so tiny.
it's so small. The downside of it is like, I should put it on something. So, and
But
again,
it works
because
just fine where it is, surprisingly. Like
I,
it's got great range.
yeah, but the worst part of it, and again, viewers at home cannot see this. I am hunched over as if I am Quasimodo,
Oh my god.
which my 6 foot, extremely large frame, not great,
Mhm.
not great for my self esteem. I look like I have never left a cave that I've been living in my entire life. It's bad.
Nah, okay. You said that makes me want to go off on a tangent. I was gonna say you look great. Second off,
Thank
you
you.
saying you're welcome. Second off, the whole cave thing. I don't have the book, so I started listening to the audiobook of Dungeon Crawler Carl. And that's the first thing that I thought of. That book, oh, dude, I love it so far. It's great.
Did I recommend that to you?
I've heard it on a couple different podcasts, so I'm
So
not sure.
I
Maybe.
finished I finished the entire series. So
Oh God, really? How many
oh
books are
god,
there? It's like
yes.
5, 7, something.
I believe there are 7.
Okay,
Now I'm going to look.
I'm still on the
I
first. I think I'm on
I
chapter
it
2. No, chapter
it was
4.
one of the most I so when I started reading it, it was like, okay, I'm down with it. It's fine. I will
I
be 100% honest with you, and I'm not going to spoil anything.
okay.
It gets a lot more nuanced and a lot more emotional as it goes. It's really good by the end.
Interesting. I've heard that, like from they didn't spoil the books from the podcast that I listened to, but they were saying that they move away from the RPG aspects of it, and it's more story.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. So like, I'm super into books. I'm super into like progression
As we've
fantasy.
established, yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly I'm rereading, which by the way, if you haven't read, it's great. The Old Man's War trilogy by John Scalzi, which is I love Scalzi. He's so good.
I
He's
don't know that
very
one.
he has a lot. He's really I recommend it's military science fiction, but
Oh, so
this guy
Halo.
oh, but like it's like Halo
Uh huh.
mixed with Starship Troopers, but the conceit of
Ooh.
it is that they are literally the elderly. It's really good. I'm not going to say go into any more of it. It's a
Okay.
quick read. It's about 300 pages. Very much worth it. If you like Dungeon Crawler Carl and you are looking for something similar,
Mm-hmm.
it was on a while ago. Oh, what the hell is the name of it? It is a series of books. It was originally like a Amazon Kindle exclusive. Um, what the hell? Hold on. Let me talk amongst yourself, kids. I'll be with you shortly. Let me find this book.
I will say with
Um,
Dungeon Crawler Carl, it was hard at first to like suspend disbelief, like because they just like throw you right into it and say this happened. You just have to accept it and keep going. So I was like, okay, it's a stretch, but here we go. And then like as I kept going and listening, I'm like, all right, this is interesting. It's getting there. So once
oh,
he
it
got into
is
Mordecai and all that, I was like, all right, we're full in. I got full buy-in on it.
Mordecai. Because again, you haven't gotten too far into it, so I'm not going to
Nope.
ruin anything. Mordecai is one of the best characters. A lot, actually. There are moments where he kind of, I don't want to say gets pushed to the back, but he's not as important. And then he'll pop up. And then
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the later books, a lot of it hinges on his relationship with people that because you already know that he was originally a crawler, right?
Yes.
So his crawl eventually comes into play, and when it comes into play hard. It becomes,
Ooh,
it's really good. It's really, really, really good.
nice.
Um, the, I'll find the book and as we're talking, I will find it and I'll let you know which one it is. But there's another. It's a very similar style thing where it's very, very loosely a video game book,
Hmm.
but it's instead of being like dungeon crawling, it's more like D&D, overworld, wizards, and fantasy, but hinged on a very sci-fi plot.
Okay,
It was, and it's very funny.
it's
It's
interesting.
extremely funny.
Um,
Um,
do you like Ernest Cline? Have you read Ready Player One or anything?
so I'll ask you
So I'm not
first.
going to
Do
talk about
you?
that. I'm just ask. Okay, go ahead.
So I will tell you my thoughts on Ernst Klein.
Also, this is what I've been reading before the coffee gets cold.
Ooh,
It's a
are
time
you?
traveling book, kind of.
Oh, did you read? Jesus Christ, there are so many books. The
Here,
problem is
wait.
I
I love
have
saying this. This is a video game podcast. We're talking about
correct.
books.
Oh, and by
Anyway,
the
it's
way,
fine.
do you want to introduce yourself?
No, no, no. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's talk about books.
All right, cool.
You want to know my take on Ernie Klein or the books?
Yes, I want to know your take on the
So,
books.
Ready Player One, when I first read it, I thought it was pretty cool, but way too heavy on the references to stuff. It's like, hey, kids, remember this? Well, I'm going to put it in my book because it was about that time that I was into it. And it's just like, the whole thing was littered with it, but I appreciated it because I like a lot of that stuff too. Ready Player Two, didn't care about it at all. I just bounced off that hard. I will say his follow up, Armada, I recommend reading that. I love that. I like that a lot more than Ready Player One. Even though
Okay.
this might just be me talking to, maybe some people think differently about it, but it feels a lot like a touch to Ender's Game
So I'll
without
tell you
spoiling
my
anything.
thought. Oh, totally. By the way, this is what I wanted to put onto here. Um, so let me grab this copy image. Okay, so putting this in the chat, it's
Mhm.
Magic. It's called Magic 2.0. It's by Scott Mayer or Meyer. I'm not sure. This is, I
I would say
believe, the
Meyer.
first book in it. It's
Hmm.
really, really, it's good.
I
I
like the art style.
actually
That looks cool.
makes you know what the thing that makes it even better is like again the conceit is that this person's off to be a wizard.
Hmm.
It's very funny and funny in a. I'm glad you brought up Ernie Klein.
Okay.
I think that Ernie Klein, again, I think he leans too hard on references and tropes.
Yes.
I think there's like literally a scene in it where like one person makes like this obscure Star Wars reference and everyone laughs and they think he's so cool because he did that and it's like cool.
Hmm.
This book, the one that I just put in there, I think is
Yeah.
exactly what Ernie Klein wanted his book to be.
Well,
It also has a bunch of references, but I was dying laughing. It is very good. The and I'm not going to ruin it. There's a lot to do with coding, and
you're
that
speaking
is
my
part of the
language.
conceit. Read the book. I
I'm
highly
gonna have
and
to.
they're quick and they're funny. I have
Hmm.
not finished the series yet. I've only read three of them. I also agree, I have not read Ready Player Two or whatever the sequel to Ready Player One is.
I believe that's what it's
Um,
called. Yeah. Ready Player Two.
I am I'm not gonna buy it because I'm like I think from what I've heard of it, it's basically the it's it's exactly what you think it would be. It's just more of the same. I do agree with you. I actually liked Armada better, and I remember people used to being like, especially when No Man's Sky was going to be released, they were like, "Oh, it's going to be like Ready Player One." I think
No.
Armada is a superior book. I like
Hmm.
it better. It's not. It's still not great. I mean, it's still not
Yeah.
one of my favorites. There are books that do it better. Old Man War
I
does it
think it's
better.
his writing style that kind of takes away from it, which isn't terrible, but it's also it's easy. It's very simple, but not necessarily in a negative way. But it's so heavy on like you understand this, so I'm gonna reference that, and you know what I'm talking about. But then it's like there's not enough meat on there to like pick apart and think about.
Right. There's no character development. It's like one of the, if I remember correctly, the love interest in the story, she has like what is it, a port wine stain or something on her face? Like she has a large birthmark, and it
You're
was
talking
like
about Ready Player One.
correct.
Yes.
Um, and that was like, oh, and and there's also and also not to be weird about it, but there's also like a scene where like, he's like in a machine that just is like jerking him off,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, thanks,
Yeah,
thanks,
he's like, I
Ernie.
got all this money, I'm gonna buy all this shit, and look what it can do to me. It's like, did we need a couple pages of this? Yeah, I mean, maybe you drew inspiration from like Stephen King. I don't know.
I guess I like King actually. That
Weird sex shit and all.
what's it? Oh
Weird
no,
sex shit
not
and
that.
all.
I like so here's my like there are series of Stephen King's that like. I like the Dark Tower series, but yeah, there is a lot of weird psychosexual shit in Stephen King.
Hmm.
Also, a lot of race-based stuff, which from Stephen King's mind, I think is like he's like I'm cool. I grew up in a not really nice area, and I was very well immersed with a lot of diverse ethnicities. Fine, but then
Hmm.
he'll lean into that, and I'm like, bro, you are like the whitest dude from Maine. Like, settle down, buddy.
Do you think that's hard with his book sometimes? How he'll give the characters a voice and it's written in that voice, so you have to read it that way?
One of my favorite books of all time was The Talisman by him, and he did
I
it
thought you
with
were gonna
Peter
say Under
Straub.
the Dome.
Oh, I'm okay with Under the Dome. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. And it's funny because he
Okay.
released it after the Simpsons movie, and
Hmm.
like the opening is basically him saying, like the introduction is, "Hey, I know this was released after the Simpsons movie, but I started writing this before," and it's like, okay, cool. I mean, there's a lot of movies with. I mean, I just recommended a book about somebody becoming a wizard. It's not Harry
Hmm.
Potter, man.
Nope.
Um, but like the talisman is really good, but there is a character in it that is wildly inappropriate. There's characters in it that are phenomenal, and I guess that's the
Hmm.
thing, right? Like, not that it's not it's an explanation, not an excuse. He's a product of his time. That doesn't
Right.
make it right, but
Hmm.
it makes it even harder to then come back and say, hey, you need to approach these things with a level of inclusivity. You can't just write something that might have been okay in 1976 in 2003 and be like, we're cool, guys. Or you can't write something that would have been acceptable in 2003 in 2025 and be like, yeah, we're good. It's no, you can't do that. And
Right.
you shouldn't do that. Like, we're growing as a society, we're
Hmm.
understanding the various intricacies and being more
Nuances.
nuances of the individual's
Society.
experiences in society. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Treating
That
each
being
other as
said,
humans.
that being said, too, and full disclosure, the Off to Be a Wizard Magic 2.0 I have not read since like 2012, and I'm sure I'm going to be like, this is awesome, and then I'm going to read it again and be like, ooh, this is problematic. I forgot about this. Oh boy.
Well,
Ooh.
I can't wait to
Anyways,
get into more books now. Yay! I
I
got more stuff
I
to read.
look I stopped reading for like a week. I had been
Hmm.
on a reading streak for the past like year and a half since well before we found out about Franklin. I've been reading every day, and then I stopped because I was on a book that was fine. It's not a bad book, but it just didn't really grab me. So then I went back to Old Man's War because I'm like, I need something to pull me back in. Though I had just finished before I started this other book that whatever was the Dungeon Crawler Call, and really, I was really pumped. And there's another one coming out. I think the end of this year or beginning of next year. There's another episode coming out.
I have no idea.
I guess. Yeah. There's a whole
Cool.
dude. There's a whole subreddit. It's on there, man.
I'm gonna have to immerse myself then.
God damn it, Donut.
All right, are we ready to actually do the show now? Are we ready to
We
talk
are.
games instead of books?
We've
it's
been
a good
going
bridge
on-
because it was books, and then it's lit RPGs, and now we're going into games that are actually RPGs. It's a good segue.
There we are. That's what I'm saying.
Um,
RPGs as a video game.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Instead of pen and paper or real life role play. Yeah. Anyway, this. I hope my numbers are right. If I got it wrong, sorry. But anyway, this is a Ramble Pack Podcast, episode 68, and I am Adam.
I'm Sean, and we are one away. We're one podcast number away from being real raunchy, guys.
3. We're at 66.
I thought you said it was 68.
66. Did I say 68?
Yeah.
I'm fucking dumb. It's 66.
No,
See,
you're not.
I looked right at the number, and I said the wrong number anyway. All right, we're done. Wrap it up. See you later.
We're on podcast 69 now.
That's fine. We're
not.
just moving right along in the same episode. Anyway, I know we said we're going to talk games, but one small announcement. Obviously, it's just me and Sean. Mike's not here because Mike and his wife just had their third kid. So they're getting all settled and getting situated with all that. But little baby's healthy. She's with them in the room and hanging out.
Aw.
All's good. So it's great.
And now we have to. He is going to, when he puts his child to sleep, put on the 2-hour explanation of Kingdom Hearts every night.
Yes. Get him
So
started.
that way her first word is going to be,
Heartless.
oh my god.
Or Keyblade.
Yeah, I was going to say Xenohort.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
I actually played that game again recently.
By the way, so and to actually speaking of games that we played, we really have to do an episode where you and I explain the Legend of Zelda series because it's so funny now that I'm playing these Zelda games again, which we'll get into.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my god, it is so
Actually, that's what we're starting off
convoluted.
with. Talk about it. Let's talk Switch 2. What?
All right.
Go.
All right, we're doing it.
Anyway,
jumping
Sean's
right
review of
in.
the Switch 2.
All right, so I got the Switch 2. It's been a bit since we've been on.
Yes. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
But who's counting?
But, you know, at the end of the day, we're back. So that's all that matters.
We're here.
We are here for you, and you are here for us. I started playing and taking it, first of all, right out of the box. When I got the Switch, and I'm sure you're probably in the same boat, Adam.
Can
came in
I
a
make a
big-ass
joke
box.
about your box? You didn't have a receipt stapled to the front of it, did you?
No, thank God.
Okay, good.
Which, having got the box, I actually have it still, because I don't live in the nicest area, and throwing out boxes of,
Makes you a target.
yeah, like, I had the PlayStation 5 box, because I got my PlayStation 5 at launch, and I kept it upstairs in my attic for like 2 years, because I'm like, I'm going to throw it out, and then somebody's going to come into the house and be like, you have a PlayStation 5, and then they're going to rob me. And I'm like,
Yep.
we just don't want to have that. Shawnee doesn't need that kind of heat. So, the box that it came in, to start, is actually laughably small. It is,
Really? Huh.
oh yeah, I'll grab it before the end of this podcast so you can see it. But it is tiny, right? Where the other PlayStation, the other Switch box, the original one, I felt was meatier. I get the idea behind it. You don't need to spend that much on packaging.
I've got my
You
Switch
are-
1 box. I can bring it out. We can compare
All right,
at the end.
Hold on, you get yours. I'll get mine.
All right, that
everyone
sounds really
hold-
bad, but okay.
Yep. So Adam is bringing
Pretty
out
hefty.
this giant box, right?
This is at least
This
15
is-
inches wide by like 8 inches tall.
This is the Switch 2 box.
That's like half the size of this. And just
Correct. Right. So when I initially got it, I was like, okay, cool. Well, my Switch is going to be tiny. It is not.
It's not. It took up the whole
it
box,
is.
didn't it?
If you open it, right, there's nothing in it. Like, there's like a very flimsy thing in the top, and then on the inside is just a few cables, the dock. So they had to fit the dock and the Switch into here. So, like, they did some real, like, ergonomic shit. So, to start, I got that, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And this might be an unpopular opinion, I was actually pleased with it. I'm not really jazzed with the idea of, like, getting this box that you're then going to throw out. And you probably, with your Switch 1 box, it's probably really shiny, right? It has like a very polished front.
No, it's matte.
So this one
shiny.
is too. And I feel like this actually feels more like recycled, like, which is fine. Again,
So
I'm
a smaller
like,
footprint.
cool. That's what
That's
I'm saying.
cool.
And I'm actually pleased with that. That's not me like slamming Nintendo. I don't need it to come in, it doesn't need to be shipped over in the Titanic. I just want the damn Switch. So, first thing, and actually I'm going to go grab the Switch too so we can take a look at it.
Ooh.
So, the first thing to notice is it's big. Like, this is
Wow,
relatively
yeah.
large, right?
That's a lot taller than the Switch 1.
Do you want to see the coolest thing in the world? Here, actually,
Sure.
let me do one thing because I want to turn off. This is the pad. It looks almost identical to the Switch, like,
It's just more
Joy-Con
round.
control.
Mhm.
Ready? So the
I know
only
it's
thing
magnetic, yeah.
but the magnetic thing. Hold on, I'll put it near the camera, near the microphone, so you can hear it. There's this click.
I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. You're good. Hold on. Let me try that again.
They probably picked it up on the mic.
So I'll say this. It's very, like, there's a good sensory feel to it. It's very hefty. It's big. It feels pretty substantial. The UI on it is fundamentally identical to the Switch. Like,
Thought
it's
so.
not super different, but, and we were talking about this last time. I was like, I know I'm getting it. I'm getting it because I want to play Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, 60
And you were playing Wind
FPS.
Waker.
Well, you're gonna get mad at me. So I started
no.
playing Wind Waker, and it's really good. It's really, really. That's not me a slam on it,
But
but I was like, you know what? Let me just start a new Breath of the Wild play. I'll just do it. What's the harm?
what's the harm? I don't know. Maybe your social life.
So, and it's funny because when I go onto the Switch, obviously it tells you how long you've been playing it. So right at the very start when it says, the games you play, Breath of the Wild, you already have 390 hours in this game. And I'm like, I'm making it 7, baby. It's so good. It is like playing. So again, I did the thing where you put it into your TV. There's a TV in my office area, and I have this hooked up here because I'm like, I can play it when I'm, doing work, which I don't if work is listening. But I plugged it in. Hi, work. So I plugged it in, started playing, and it's like playing a new game. I forgot the reason that I really liked Breath of the Wild, and
Does it feel fundamentally different from playing it on the Switch 1?
so yeah, it does. To me, it does. It does.
Why'd you say that?
Oh, so
Now I gotta do it all over again.
if at some point what I'll do is I'll put it on. So let's go into some of the other things that are really cool. Okay.
Okay.
So picking up my phone, not because I don't want to not because I want to be distracted, because I want to show you something. And again, this is something that I think we all knew was coming.
Mm-hmm.
With the Switch app, which is really bright, so let's turn down the brightness of that a
Yeah.
little bit so you can actually see.
Nice.
Right, so there's the Switch app,
Mm-hmm.
right? Oh, no, that's not the Switch app. Switch app, Zelda Notes. If you open Zelda Notes, and I didn't know this, I had this plugged in. It was up on my phone. You can
Mm-hmm.
select which game you are playing. There's an option in the game to connect this app to the game, right?
Okay, that's cool.
Right. So, first thing is there are daily bonuses, which you, again, you can't really see because my screen is super bright, but you get the idea.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interactive map. Um, there are all of these things. But one of the things that I didn't know it would do, so I found, and again, I'm not ruining anything for this, 7-year-old game at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at the beginning, you find the Temple of Time. You go in. There's
What, really?
this. Oh, I shouldn't have told
My
you
bad.
that. I ruined it for you. I think the first time you saw Breath of the Wild in action, was it at my house?
Yes, it was. That's the first time I laid hands on it.
So good. So
Yes.
you find the Temple of Time. You go
Mm-hmm.
in. There's the giant statue of Hylia. Right,
Mm-hmm.
she's there. I'm playing it on my, again, I'm trying to go through it, and my phone starts talking to me. They recorded new dialogue that plays through the app with the real voice actors
Whoa.
that gives background on specific things.
Oh,
So I
that's
was like,
cool.
"Oh yeah, you're gonna love this one." You can so let's say you have how eventually you get to a point where you have like you get too much of like an item, you stack it too high, then you have to you have to restack or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's an option in the game where you can actually store items in the app.
Oh, that is nice. That is a very
There's
nice quality of life thing.
there's an interactive map, so you don't have to have the map open.
Nice.
Yep.
That's even better
And
too.
you can oh dude. I thought it was just going to be like a note-taking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um you can with Tears of the Kingdom, you can share builds. So like when you make a build, you can
Oh, that's
share
cool
that with other
too.
people who have the app, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You if I wanted to, right? I could share items from Breath of the Wild when you get your Switch too, which is going to happen.
Yeah.
And you get the Zelda notes, if you're like, "Yo, Sean, I need apples. Send me apples." I can go into the app, go into the game, backlog some of my apples, and then send it over to you.
Wow.
It
I,
is
I, I don't even know what to say. Why, like, why would they do that? But that's also awesome.
right. Oh, that's not even getting into like looking at this now, right? It shows me all of my play data. So like it tells me how many weapons have I collected? Oh, I've collected 1,200 weapons. I've
How many have you broken?
collected. Oh Jesus! Actually, that's a good question. I am known for defeating bokoblins. Bokoblins, I mean. Um, deaths experienced 115. Um, wow, and this goes all the way back from when the original Switch version was released.
Mm-hmm.
So this goes
That's
through
cool.
all of my 600 hours of, well, no, 390 hours of playing,
I'm
or
probably more
70 or
excited
whatever.
about that than the normal person just because I like numbers and stats because I'm a numbers guy now. So that's I like that.
So to start that out, that completely threw me. Playing it in 60 FPS, it's very different. It feels like a new game.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I think they might have upscaled some of the textures to play better in 4K, because I think it is 4K. I think. I can't remember. But it plays so much better. It plays, and I'm one of the areas that I'm really eager to get to because again, I'm like right at the beginning of the game. I want to
Hmm.
get into. I want to go back to the Lost Woods
Okay.
because I remember the first time I got in there, it lagged so bad.
Hmm.
One of the other benefits is there is so much damn storage on this that it's it I could download all these games and without even putting in an SD card. I believe it's what 250 gigs.
So that was going to be my next question about the SD cards. The ones that are, I'm going to say programmed, the ones that you put in your original Switch one, so that way it takes that format and saves your games to it. Are you able to take the SD card from the Switch one and put it in the Switch two, and it still reads everything normal?
Sure does. Actually, that was
Good.
the one of the reasons that it took so long is you can do NFC
Okay.
basically. So when you set it up, it says, "Oh, it seems like you already have a Switch One. Do you have it with you?" Yes. Cool. Bring it and put it in front of the Switch Two. Make sure
Let
your
me talk
Switch
to
Two
it.
is done. And yeah, I gotta tell them this. I gotta find out what this deal is with you.
Hmm.
You put it in front, and then it just basically put your catalog of games on there, right? And then you just go in, and it says you have two options. Your games are already. You can either do this with NFC, or you can just take your SD card. And I was like, I don't feel like I'm not. I don't need to play it right now. I got this at the beginning of the day. Just let it do its
Hmm.
thing. It does take a while because again, I forgot that some of these games are big.
Hmm.
um, but honestly, it was pretty seamless. By the next day, everything was already downloaded.
Cool. All
I
right.
mean,
You're selling me on the Switch too.
and again, like there's something with the slide up and down thing for the Switch. There's this little trigger, pull
Hmm.
it, and it just
That's so
just
much easier.
yeah,
Because that little button on the Switch one, having to like press that without pressing any other buttons to pull it up and push it down and stuff. Like, yeah, you know that it's plugged in because it clicks, but like getting it to actually release and let go is annoying.
right. And also, one of the things that really worried me about the Switch One is because it's on a mechanical hinge or because it's on a mechanical slot. If you, I normally when I'm playing it, I'll put a little bit of pressure just by holding it, right?
Hmm.
Over the course of time, you can feel it start to give a little bit. I'm worried about that for this,
Hmm.
but I'm not like super worried. But I'm like, okay,
You're aware.
downs. I'm aware. Downsides, everything is way more expensive. So, like,
Yeah.
I want like say I wanted to buy a Switch Two Pro controller. From what I've heard, Switch One Pro. I haven't done it yet, but I guess you can still use the Pro controllers that you originally had. They're still compatible
Cool.
with it, which is fine because I already have one. I have my Breath of the Wild one. I'm gonna bring it upstairs, connect it to this bad mamma jamma, call it a day.
Hmm.
But if I wanted to buy a new one, it's like $90, or I think it's $70. But the Joy Cons themselves, if I wanted to buy an additional set, it's like 90.
Ugh.
Which yeah, and like part of me also wants to get a new dock, like a second dock, so I can have one downstairs and one upstairs, and that's like $60 too. And I'm like, come on, man. Like,
Everything's just getting more expensive. I mean
thanks,
that. Hang on. That's a Go ahead. Say your thanks.
thanks tariffs.
There you go. And that is a perfect segue to PlayStation is also increasing their prices because of tariffs as well.
Beautiful. Oh, I
Yes.
see.
So all the flavors of the PS5 are going up by about $50 or so. So the original PS5 is going to be 550. The digital version is going to be 500, and the PS Pro is going to be $750 now.
Woof.
Yes.
Woof. So, by the way, and just to confirm, we are actually moving on to the actual things of the day because I did want to note Hellblade 2 coming to PS5, huh?
Yes, sir. This is just another in the long line of games that are moving over to PlayStation. Actually today or tomorrow, I believe. Oh fuck! I gotta talk to Mike about that for my birthday. And I think I mentioned this too. Xbox gave me Gears of War, whatever the new version is for the new console generation. Since I had it for the old one, they gave it to me for free. For
Hmm.
my birthday, Mike bought me and him Gears of War for the PS5 when it gets put out, which I think was either today or tomorrow. So I'm gonna drag him through the campaign on Insane to show him to show him the ropes of it. So
Has he never?
we've got
Has he? I haven't played Gears of War at all.
it's only been on Xbox, so it's coming to PS. It's coming to PlayStation now. Same thing with Hellblade. There's going to be a handful more coming along. Along those same lines, Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox and on the PlayStation as well, not just on Xbox. They have a collaboration with Halo and Xbox where they're bringing the ODSTs since it looks very close to Helldivers 2, like the soldiers in that. They look like ODSTs already. They drop in like
Right.
ODSTs and all that, so it's like it's a perfect fit. So they did a collaboration with Halo, and now you've got the ODST Marines armor in Helldivers 2 on both consoles. This is the first instance of anything Halo being on PS5. So there's, well, I should say PlayStation consoles. So there's rumors now that, and maybe it's possible that Halo's going to come over to the PlayStation. And I think this
Huh.
is a, I, I'm not going to give them this much credit, but maybe this is them realizing that buying up studio. I think I've said this before. Buying up studios is not the way to go about business because all you're doing is cutting off your nose to spite your face. You're getting less returns because you're shutting off one whole side of your market. So when you open that market up, even if you're using your third-party studios to be able to put your games on the other console, you're bringing in more revenue. So why would you just make everything exclusive when you needed the extra revenue to come in?
I don't get it, man. I
I
do,
don't get it
and
either.
for exclusives, like we're always gonna
I
live in a
I
world
get
of exclusives.
exclusives. Yeah,
Yeah, but like it can't
but
be
those should be
everything.
first parties.
Right. Yeah. Like playing, the Spider-Man, you know, um, PS, PlayStation Spider-Man. Okay, it's
Hmm.
developed by, that's fine. I do like that. I think that because they did release for PC recently, didn't they?
I have no idea to be honest with you.
It's, I
But
I
that's
mean,
that's also a PlayStation exclusive only because they had bought the rights to Insomniac. Like they bought the
right,
studio.
right. Which I mean, like, again, I bought literally the most exclusive console of all
Yeah.
freaking time, which like that is definitely. But again, for some reason, Nintendo, it works. It's never been a problem for them.
uh, no, they always do their own thing, and it generally works for the most part. Trying to think of what else to talk about.
Oh, I
Like there's so
know.
much here.
So I'm
Oh,
I
since we
know
were
we
talking, go
missed.
ahead.
Yeah, no, you go first.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say since we were touching on Gears of War and how it's coming out, or it should be out, it'll be out by the time this podcast goes up. There's been some news, not necessarily with Gears of War, but Rod Ferguson, who was originally part of Xbox's The Coalition, which was the studio that they founded to continue the work on Gears of War, he left them to go to Activision Blizzard to help Diablo 4 with their development cycle and getting the game up and running and out the door.
Mm.
He's finally finished his tenure there. He's done what he wanted to, and he's left. And now he's moved on to Cloud Chamber, which was a studio under Take Two, who is developing Bioshock 4. That game apparently has been in development for about a decade or so, which I didn't even realize it's been that long since it's been in development. But it's been having issues, so Take Two was like, all right, we need to do something about this, and axed about a third of the employees from that company. And Rob Ferguson joined them to try to help right the ship and get the game up and running in the right way.
Hmm.
Now, he's known
Huh.
for being able to head some studios and help get things working, just like Joseph Staten was. He was originally from Bungie, and then he moved on to 343 to help them get Halo Infinite up and running. And then I think he actually went back to Bungie for a little while to work on story for them, and then I don't know where he's landed. Actually, I think he went to Netflix games before, unless he's left that too. I don't remember. But Rod Ferguson's really good about helping studios like figure their shit out and get things working.
I mean,
So
it's
hopefully he can do
it.
the same thing with Bioshock.
Yeah, I mean, it's shocking that we haven't had a new Bioshock game for a series that's that prestigious, like they have three games out that by and I don't think I'm speaking out of line here, are probably some of the best games, first person shooters, or just best games ever made from like a gameplay standpoint and from a story standpoint. To not
Definitely
have
from a
one,
story.
yeah, like to not have one within, when did Infinite release? In the 2010s sometime?
Yeah, sometime around. Let me look because I was so excited for that game. I bought it. I 100%ed all the achievements on the game. I was so excited for it. But the one difference between those also is BioShock 1 and BioShock Infinite were the stories and everything were created by Ken Levine, who is now making his own game in his new studio called Judas, which I am so looking forward to that just because Ken Levine's a great storyteller.
Right.
He knows what kind of games he wants to make, and the way he makes his stories is great too because he actually hired like scientists to go into like the whole nitty gritty stuff for Infinite. For
Mm.
those of you who haven't played it, I don't really want to spoil it, but it deals with like going to different parallel dimensions and things like that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's really cool.
Right. Right. Ooh, and actually to touch on people changing posts, Pete
2013 is when
Parsons.
BioShock Infinite came out. Sorry.
So 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow. Back when I was 30 years old. And the world was my oyster. I see
The world
that
made a
in
lot more
terms.
sense then too.
Oh God, I mean that was a different time, man. So I see that Pete Parsons is also leaving Bungie, huh?
Okay, I'm gonna have to meet him myself because I can say so much about that.
Lay it
Like
on me.
from Destiny to the studio to him himself. But yes, I did not. I haven't read his
He's
entire
good.
little thing that he posted. Like he addressed the Bungie community and is talking about for more than 2 decades. He's helped build the studio. When he took over in 2015, his goal was to grow the studio into being capable and able to sustain the kind of entertainment that they were shooting for. And I guess he is passing it to Justin Truman, which he's been at Bungie for a while too. So he's been working hand in hand with leadership. So I feel like it's going to be okay because he's also like an OG Halo vet as well.
Right.
But as for where he's going, I don't know. I have to reread some of this. He didn't really say much. He was just like, I'm leaving, passing the torch on to him, and then Justin Truman gave a little blurb about it too. But a lot of people are happy to see him go because under his leadership and a lot of other Bungie leadership, there have been a lot of stumbles and a lot of issues, especially with God, with all the mass layoffs that hit the studio just last year alone. The people that he let go of, the stories that came out from the different groups, like not to the level of Activision Blizzard kind of controversy, but similar.
Right.
Like a lot of that stuff happened under him, and it's just the decisions that they made and what they were doing was more for them. It felt like them and their shareholders rather than being for the studios and the community. So people are happy that he's leaving and somebody else is taking over to hopefully fix things. But I also think that this guy's not going to have as much say, and that's because someone from Sony has come out and said that their independency is waning.
Right.
The studio is not being as successful and moving in the direction that they want to. So Bungie's independency is its time is coming to an end shortly, and people are like, great, maybe Sony can step in and actually do something and help fix this stuff.
Right.
Just for an example, today alone, every Thursday, Destiny puts out what used to be called a TWAB, which was this week at Bungie. Now it's changed because they have Marathon coming out and Destiny coming out, or Destiny's out. So they changed it to the TWID, this week in Destiny. Later on, it'll be TWIM probably for this week in Marathon. Edge of Fate came out a couple weeks ago to kind of a lukewarm response. I've tried it for a while. I like the story. I love where they went with it. The story's great. They're masterful when it comes to storytelling. The decisions that they have made when it's come to the gameplay and the changes to things, it 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 made it so hard to get back into it because they basically ripped out everything that you did before and they're making you do it again. But it's so much more complicated and it doesn't value your time. And today's update that they put out, they basically said that they're going to make it harder. So they're focused on people like doing solo ops now. People like playing the game by themselves to run and get the gear that they want to level up, make themselves stronger to be able to run the harder stuff later on.
Right.
They're now they're tuning the gear and loot that's a whole other thing. They changed the whole loot and gear system to where it's now you have to get like tiered ranges. You have to hit a certain threshold to be able to get a certain tier loot, a certain tier of your loot to be able to get more of that, to increase your loot score, or to increase the tier score to get better loot. And to do that, you have to go fast enough in the missions, you have to get a high enough score, and they introduce modifiers and things like that. I totally get that. But now they've made it to where solo ops, they've dropped it one tier under, so that no matter what you're doing, it's not going to be as good if you don't run it with somebody else or you do something that's way above your level. So people are like, why are you going backwards? And they're taking away loot as well. Like, just before Edge of Fate came out, they did this great thing where no matter what you did, you get a shit ton of stuff. You get a ton of loot. You get a lot of things that actually valued your time that you put into it. And now it feels like they want you to put more time into it and treat it like a job, or you have to baby it to be able to move one light level. And it's just getting to be too much.
Right. Right. And I like the idea, like, I love me some games. Again, I'll put in another 200 hours in Breath of the Wild. But, like, if I put down Breath of the Wild for a week and come back in, it's not like Link's turns into a toddler. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it's the same game. It just, I can go do something else. And
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of my whole, one of the reasons I've never really gone super far into, like, a online gaming community. And that's one of the prohibitive things for me is, like, jumping into a game like Destiny or Destiny 2. That's a commitment. Like,
Yes.
you have to be there on time. And to me, especially with me being kind of flighty and, you know, not having a lot of time, and again, probably even more so for somebody who has children, you know what I mean? You can't, that's where I start to be like, all right, maybe I don't want to do this, And it's a
It
shame
makes
because,
it that much harder.
right,
Or now it's going to be that much harder.
right. And to be fair, like, now, like, if you have the time and you have the inclination, rock on. But it shouldn't be, ride or die or don't play our game at all. You know what I
How
mean?
about
Like,
or how about this? Let's reset it every time they have a new season come out. They started everybody at 10 power, and then like you get new gear to infuse into your gear to make it stronger. The soft cap is 200.
right,
You can get up to 450 by doing progressively harder things and getting better gear.
right,
When the new Ash and Iron set comes out, which will introduce new stories and things like that, you get
hmm,
reset back to 200. So it doesn't matter how high you get, you're going back down to 200 and you have to do it all over again.
right,
And I don't like that because they already took away all the effort that I put into the game for 10 years and building myself up and figuring out my characters and being able to run dungeons and get to the level I wanted, just to have it all stripped away and said, now we all get to do it again. It was so hard to just get back into it and be like, okay, let's do this again. Let's get back to where I was so I can actually enjoy what I'm playing again. But I don't even want to.
right. Why would you want to? Like, in the grand overarching scheme of things, it is, I don't know. Like, again, games shouldn't be a job.
No.
It just shouldn't. Like, the idea that I would devote 3 hours a day, like, if I can get an hour in a day, well, awesome. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, but like there's other shit I want to do, man. Like, and again,
Mm-hmm.
this is weird thing to have on a video game podcast where we've been talking an hour. But I think the thing is, I think the thing for me that really kind of cements it home is like this lack of understanding of developers who are like, no, no, the people want this, and it's like, no, they don't, man. What?
I'm so glad you said that because a lot of the Bungie, a lot of the leadership at Bungie did not listen to the developers. They have the numbers, they have the stats, they have the words from the community. The community managers relayed information to them, and they even told the community, "Yeah, we weren't listened to. We had to do what they said. What was actually going on and what was needed didn't matter."
Right, right. And it's this overall trend of. I understand that it's funny because I've listened to basic. I forget if it was like a TikTok or if it was a podcast. I forget what it was. But basically, it was kind of going into like Star Wars, and basically, people they were kind of expounding on why Mandalorian season 3 didn't go well, and basically, it was the idea of you can't give people what you think they want, right? You have to do the thing that makes sense to you. Look at it from your perspective. Do what are the things that you as the person developing this want to see? And there's a degree to where you can do that, but you still also have to listen to, like, if you want to do story beats that pay homage to a thing, rock on. But
Mm-hmm.
there also then has to be some give back, especially to a community that has to devote their time. The difference between The Mandalorian, where people still flip out, is you can turn The Mandalorian off, turn it back on, and it's the same damn show.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that with Destiny, you're not playing this. It's not the same game. You're starting from scratch, and
Yep.
that doesn't sit well with me, man.
I don't like it. So, I don't think a lot of Destiny is going to be in my future. I'm trying, but it's just meh.
Well, what might be in your future, and I see you put this down, we have a release date for Silk Song.
Hell yeah, we do. After what 7 years, we finally got a release date for it, and the trailer is actually really cool too.
Really? I haven't even seen it
It
yet.
it's pretty hype. I mean, it's only like an hour. Hour. Yeah, I wish a minute and a half long, but it's cool. I liked Hollow Knight 1. It was pretty fun.
I
So yeah,
mean, that. Yeah, go on. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say September 4th.
I think the thing, and again, going back to this thing of, like, there's no reason that Hollow Knight should have done as well as it did, but they had tight gameplay, they had a cool art direction, and they had a cool world. That's all
And
you
it was
really
very
need.
cohesive. Team Cherry, like, they had a. What am I trying to say? They had a vision. They nailed it, and they expounded upon it with what they added to it later on, and it was cohesive throughout. And that I think that's why development took so. Well, actually, I'm guessing because I haven't read it because Jason Schreier from Bloomberg put out an article saying why the development took so long. I haven't read it yet, but my guess is like just watching the trailer and then thinking back to Hollow Knight 1, they've added so many little touches just to that trailer alone and watching things in the background and how things move and stuff.
Yeah.
I can see why. They there's so much love put into that trailer alone that this game is just it's going to be so good.
I know, I can't wait. Um, so I'm just looking through our list.
No, you're good. How do you feel about maybe actually I don't think you're going to want to buy a handheld Xbox, but uh, you know that Xbox is putting out a handheld, right? Or like they've
I
been developing one with the ROG.
I just saw you had put that in there. Is it
Hmm.
is it a handheld Xbox, or is it basically like a Steam Deck where it's going to run Windows and play like Game Pass? What is it? Just out of
Both
curiosity.
kind of. So the from my understanding, the ROG Ally, it might come in two different flavors. The rumored price is like 900 and is coming out October 16th. It's running on a Windows architecture, but it's a custom Xbox One that will launch games from I know from Game Pass for sure, and there are also games that you, if let me get my words right. Um, you can. What was the Xbox's name for playing stuff over the thing? Cloud gaming. That's right.
Yeah.
Easy, and I forgot. Their cloud gaming stuff. There's a handful of games that they put on that service that you can play cloud gaming with. I have a feeling that a lot of that's going to work like that. But they also have their own store on there. I think your Steam library might even transfer over as well. But like anything that you have like that is similarly like Steam, that's Steam verified, I think we'll be able to play on the handheld itself. As far as I'm aware, the machine is pretty meaty. It's going to handle games pretty well. Might not have the greatest battery life, but that $900 price tag, if that's what it is going to be gross. And the quote of that is, prices. They haven't said a price because of macroecon. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's late. Macroeconomic. Where's my notes? Macroeconomic conditions.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, if you wait to the last second, no one's going to buy it.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, I think here's the thing, and again, I think this is people not really touching on it. Was this Switch too expensive? Yes. Was it that expensive? No, not even close. I could have
Comparatively,
bought,
no.
yeah, I could have ostensibly with the discount I got because I got it through. I had a credit card through Target, so I bought it through that credit card. I got 5% off. In
What?
theory, with like a couple, like maybe like 40 extra dollars, I could buy two of those. And why? Like, part of me is on board with a Steam Deck handheld PC. There's something really cool about that. But
Yes,
at that
I
point,
agree.
it's also like, but that's also like gaming with a laptop, right? Like, is there something good about it? Yes. Is it the,
But
but yeah, at the end of the day, like, I can get behind a Switch because there's going to be like low power games that I want to play. You know what I mean? Um,
hmm
but for like, I'm not paying 900, $1,000, $1,000.
ooh,
Like,
I have a question for you. Do you
right on me.
think that handheld consoles like the Steam Deck and the Switch, I guess the Switch by proxy too, and maybe even the ROG Ally when it comes out, they're going to be act similarly to like the 3DS was, like you said, low power games, things that are easy to play. The first things that I kept hearing about when the Steam Deck came out was people were playing things like Vampire Survivors, just because it ran beautifully on it. It was so easy for it to run. A lot of
Right.
people flocked to simple games like that because it was easy for them to run. You could throw a ton of them on the Steam Deck and take them wherever you wanted. You didn't hear a lot about people playing like MechWarrior 5 and shit like that on it.
Right. And I mean, like, I think that's kind of the thing. The other thing to take into account is cool. I have a $900 handheld that can play 4K. My screen, I mean, this is a large screen. It's not a widescreen. Do you need that level? Like, sure, again, if you're going to hook it up to a TV, one of the benefits of this thing, and again, I'll give Nintendo a million props for this. They made a really easy transition system. You want to pick it up, want to walk around with it, you can. You want to sit down in front of the TV and watch TV while you're playing a video game, you can. There some things I would change? Yeah, I would absolutely add streaming services. It would be nice to be able to watch Netflix on my brand new console, but
Yeah.
whatever. Like, at the end of the day, it does the thing that I want it to do
Mm-hmm.
for a price point that doesn't make me want to claw my own eyes out. You know? It's
Oh,
like,
that's right. The Xbox prices are going up too, if they
I
haven't
mean, this,
already. So,
and I'll be honest with you, there are so many times now where I'm like, oh, I kind of want to buy a PS5 game and play it. And then I'm like, why? I took up this freaking thing. Like, I'm good for the next couple months. Like,
mm-hmm.
and I guess that's if there was because again, I know they have the, I forget what the name of it is, but the PlayStation, like, streaming gaming console.
Oh, the PlayStation Portal.
Yeah, the Portal, right? Sure,
Mm-hmm.
that's feasible. That's fine. it's going to
Mm-hmm.
destroy my internal network because all the bandwidth is going to be taken up by me playing whatever. And at the end of the day, what am I going to play on it? I can't play anything that requires reaction time because there's going to be lag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I'm going to be relegated to Baldur's Gate 3 probably, which fine. I'm totally on board with that.
Mm-hmm.
But like there are going to be games that are even low power games like Vampire Survivor. If there's
Mm-hmm.
lag in that game, it'll affect you. And
Yes, it
like
will.
there have been points where I'm like, oh, I want to buy that, and then I'm like, why? Why would I want
And
it?
latency has always been the biggest detractor from cloud gaming as well, which it has gotten better. I test it out every so often on my phone when I'm different places just to see or because I'm bored or whatever, and it's gotten a lot better. But there's still some stuff to work on.
Totally. Um, and again, just because we're getting later in the night, I see
Mm-hmm.
that you played the Revenge of Shinobi demo.
Yes, I did,
What are
and
your
I'm going
thoughts?
to recommend the game.
Nice.
The one thing I don't like, and I know this is more of a cinematic thing, especially like for these kinds of games too, but like when you do a pretty hard hit or complete a combo and the game just like stops for a second or slows down and then like continues or whatever because it's supposed to be flashy, I don't like that it does that because I want it to keep going. I don't want it to slow down because it
Right.
feels like it takes so much longer to do things, but the game feels great. I
Right.
like the controls. I like, oh, dude, if you like art or any kind of art, like any kind of medium of art, it's so pretty. The the backgrounds, the noises, the individual characters, even the enemies, the animations of Joe when he's running around, slashing and flipping around or diving through things, beautiful. Love it. I love the moment to moment gameplay between jumping between enemies, dodging, jumping around. The bosses don't feel like they're insurmountable, even though they're just these huge like demon things. You're still a crazy shinobi who can handle them with no problem. It's not
Right.
unfair. You don't have to figure out
Right.
attack patterns either. You can like memorize what they're doing and stuff, but you can just run up to them and start dodging around, smacking them like like a regular ninja would, and it works. The game itself, I love how it felt, and the fact too that was it Young Dirty Bastard has a an alternate skin in the game now and some music from Wu Tang Clan. They actually tap them to put a song into the game. He's a an alternate skin in the game, and they have special bosses from Sega's past history coming. The first one that they've announced is Robotnik as a special boss for a DLC. I was like, oh, so now I'm trying to think of who they could add as other bosses. Like the first things that come to mind are Mr. X from Streets of Rage. It could be Death Adder from Golden Axe. It could be anything from something like that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, tell me what the next ones are. But I highly recommend it. If you like the original or anything like that, it's worth at least trying the demo. But the game itself, I'm getting it.
Let me see. I want to see what's releasing on actually.
I think it's on all platforms on the 29th of this month, I should say. August 29th. And I
Is it?
put it
Is it?
under.
Yeah. Go on. I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, no, no.
What? So I just went and searched it, and I was like, 1989 video game. Wait, what?
Yeah, wrong one.
Just do this, this, this.
And I was just about to say, I put that under the Gamescom news. I don't know if they announced that at Gamescom, but it's just easier to put it under there. I also did not list every single thing that was announced at Gamescom since it just went on. It started this week, and I think they're still doing some announcements and stuff. But I put a handful of things that were announced or that caught my eye.
Shinobi Art of Vengeance. That's what it's called, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Looks like. Wow, it's only $26. All right. Well, let's just do this. Shawnee loves
You're
a
gonna
new
buy it right
game.
now.
Yeah.
Definitely give the demo a shot. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. because I honestly I didn't think much of it. I was like, all right, Sega's trying to make some new games. Let's see how this goes. And as soon as I started, I'm like, oh, they put some time into this. But just continuing on, since like you said, it's getting late. Aside from that, at Gamescom they showed off some Resident Evil 9 stuff. They're going kind of back to their roots, where it's the Ashcrofts. Does that name ring a bell?
No.
So from the first one, I believe you are in the Ashcroft Mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Resident Evil 9 is going to be, I think they said around like 2014, 2018 timeline wise, and you are playing as Grace Ashcroft, and like the gameplay trailer that they showed was you're trying to escape from some motel with your mom, and then like shit goes down. It looked crazy. The way that here's one thing I don't like, and this is I think a holdover from Resident Evil 2 and 3, specifically the remakes, where there's a big bad guy chasing you throughout the level.
Right.
Just let me play the level and get scared of shit. I don't want to have to run and hide from something, wait for it to pass to get out and keep doing what I'm doing.
Right.
I didn't care for the whole Mr. X thing. I didn't care for Nemesis is just a holdover from the original Resident Evil 3, which I get. But don't throw in Mr. X in number 2 just to make it another thing like that. But similarly, they're going to have a monster that's running around in Resident Evil 9, but apparently it's something about it their flesh starts peeling off and then become more grotesque over time as they're chasing you and stuff. So that's cool, I guess. Obviously,
That's
Hollow Knight Silk Song. It is interesting.
And actually, because again, I haven't seen anything on it. Is it an FPS like the past couple, or is it going back to over the shoulder?
The let me get my words right. From what I'm reading and what I've seen is that it can be both.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Silk Song I mentioned. Dawn of War 4. Finally coming out. Lords of the Fallen 2, which is cool. Lords of the Fallen 1 was alright. To me. Hell Is Us. I've heard of it. Don't know much about it. Black Ops 7 got gameplay footage if you care about that. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Finally getting a sequel to Onimusha. Yay. They finally showed some more of that stuff off.
Okay.
Fallout Season 2 coming in December 17th, I think. I'm excited for that.
I haven't even watched season 1 yet.
Man, you gotta jump on it. It's great.
I know.
They're pretty faithful to the Fallout universe. You have to suspend some disbelief on it because you have to remember it's coming from a game, so some things are like that wouldn't happen. But then you got to take into account what the universe that it's in.
Right,
but it was good.
Right. All right. I think that's one of those shows that I have to like put on. You know what I mean? Like
if you haven't,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go
No,
first.
you go. No, you.
I was gonna say like that's like a Shawnee when he's at home. You know, like putting that guy on, just seeing how. There's been so many shows that I've been sleeping on that I really need to get into. I really do.
Have you watched The Last of Us?
So I watched season 1. I have not watched season 2. I wanted to play.
Same here.
I wanted to play and it's funny because I described it to Terry, and basically, she was like, "Why did they make a season 2? It should have ended in season 1." I'm like, that's what a lot of people who played the game said too.
Yeah.
And
that's so funny that she said that.
I mean, like, it doesn't. That show was tied together so well, and should have been done. And the same with the games. I'm not slamming it. Again, I haven't finished part 2, and it's a fine game. It looks awesome. But, like, from a narrative standpoint, like, also it's, I mean, again, speaking of games that have been out for a while in a prestigious series, are we going to get a part 3? I don't know. We might. You know?
I mean, if we do, it's got some big shoes to fill and fix. Because I feel like I might spoil the story just by... I mean, not spoil the story, but I don't want to bring you down if you want to try the game. But
I already
narratively,
know.
in the second... Well, okay.
Already know. Yeah.
Narratively, in the second one, it's like he intentionally made characters make decisions just for the story's sake,
Right.
and that does not make a good story. Like you can think,
I
yeah, a character would do this, but it felt like it was just I. The characters are doing this just so I can continue the story and get to the ending that I want.
right. And so again, going back all the way to the beginning of this episode, Stephen King wrote a book called On Writing, and it's about the art of writing. And one of the things he says, and I do agree with it, is you can't using plot as your narrative device is not doesn't lead to great outcomes because your characters do things that can be out of line with what their character is.
They are
And
just there to service the plot.
right, and plot I like again, I do know that you do need to push things forward in a narrative in order to make sure it actually works, but at the end of the day, man, like no, don't again, I know what happens, at least to a degree. I know the big thing that happens in the second game slash
Okay.
season 2 of this.
Hmm.
I'm again, I don't know the details behind it yet. I just know that it
Do you know the
happens.
ending?
Not really. I
Okay.
know that a main person, somebody, yeah, I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't played it or watched the show, but I know
Well, that's
the
only half
big
of the game
thing,
right there.
right?
Like the
And
ending,
but
the ending itself is just like a shitty decision because I don't know. It's like you want these characters to grow and learn, but you intentionally make this character not learn
right.
until everything is not literally, but everything's burnt down around them that they're like, "Oh, I guess I did the wrong thing."
Right. And at the end of the day, I guess that's the other thing too, and especially with where I'm at now, like mentally, I'm just not into like I want to play again. Throw me in Breath of the Wild, man. Like I
Hmm.
want to run around and feed apples to horses and for some reason not be able to pet dogs. Like I
Why
don't
couldn't
want
they
the
add that into the Switch too?
I don't know. Like that one, it's funny because again, going into games that kind of did it right. Red Dead Redemption 2, man, you can walk up to a bloodhound, of which we now own one, and
Hmm.
pet the bloodhound. You know what I mean?
Okay. We can talk about the generative AI thing later. I want to touch on that because I read a story about Red Dead Redemption 2 recently too that I was like, I knew that they really like touched on the physics of things and made things as realistic as possible without ruining the gameplay aspect of it. But the interactions, they're still uncovering how things can actually interact and make sense. Did you hear about Arthur having a horse? Someone playing the game brought their horse into camp near the food that's on the campfire in the pot. The horse shits into the soup that is being made for the camp. The person there is cooking it, actually eats it, and like retches and throws up from eating it. That's a legit interaction that actually happens in the game, and you wouldn't even think that that's something that would be possible.
Right. And like it's so funny because you have like Rockstar, especially in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s of are there valid concerns? I probably not in terms of like the morality of Grand Theft Auto, but
Someone's got to be
Red
mad
Dead,
about something.
but Red Dead Redemption 2 it's kind of the pinnacle of something that Rockstar does extremely well is they make a cohesive and logical world, which I don't think is something that necessarily happens very much, especially with large open world games.
I agree.
The the nuance, the small aspects, the small things, like there was one thing that people used to say about Horizon 2 was like if it rains, the water evaporates. I mean, that happens in a lot of games where there's rain, that's fine. But like stuff like that, like Rockstar really puts the legwork into making it so that way when you are playing in a world, it feels real. And I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is the nadir of that. which
Yes.
is funny because they're never going to make another one because it didn't make the same amount of money that GTA made, and they're like at this point, hey, we'll just put out another season of GTA
Red Dead
Online.
Online did not
Yeah,
hit the same numbers as GTA Online, and that's unfortunately why. And they, to their credit, they did add some more stuff to it, but like it was more of a, hey, here's a make good, not doing anything else for it.
right,
But
and
that, like you
uh,
said, they make the worlds feel lived in. They make it feel like you've people have been there for a while. Things have been established. Like things are all set, and you're just navigating through this world. You're not changing the world. The world is happening around you, and you're just there to witness it. And the fact that they can take these worlds and then layer in a great cohesive story with all these characters that have their own personalities and stuff, especially Red Dead Redemption 2, that story was great.
and I think the
Arthur is
thing
like one of the best characters in a lot of video games that have come out.
totally, and I remember when I was playing Red Dead Redemption 2, again, like most Rockstar games, I haven't beaten it. Because again, the scope of it's insane. I mean, like again, I'm playing Breath of the Wild, and they're like, "Hey, if you throw an apple into a Bokoblin camp, they're gonna fight over it." It's like you think that that's immersive, like. But the thing that really got me was when I started playing it. They're at launch ish, around ish, because I beat Red Dead Redemption 1. That was one of
Hmm.
my favorite games of all time. It was awesome, great art style, great. But again, you get used to like it plays like a video game.
Hmm.
Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't. There's no fast travel. If you want to go somewhere, you have to sit in front of the TV and you can like have the horse auto run, but you still have to sit there. Like that's
Hmm.
just what it is. And but there
And
was
there's
an
delay
X.
to the characters too. When you press a button, they do things. It takes them a minute to do it.
Right. The thing that really got me was there was an exploit initially when the game was released where you could, through some machination, you could go in, you could find gold bars. It was like auto respawn, so you could get unlimited wealth. And I remember doing that, and at that point, I was like, oh, whatever. But before I did that, one of the things that really got me on the game was you're not rich. You don't make a lot of money. Like
Yep.
all the cool shit that you see, it's like, well, you know what? If you want to do that, you have to put in the legwork, man. And again,
Yep.
there is something this is kind of the weird fork going back to something we were talking about earlier of games shouldn't be a job. And this isn't a job.
Mm-mm.
The immersiveness of it is really what brings you into the story because again, then you give a shit about the characters.
You want to, that's the thing too. You want to interact with these people. You want to see how people react to things because not no two people are the same in these games either. You can walk by someone and you can say hi and they'll tell you to fuck off, and another person will be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And
Right.
like how you treat these people, they will have a reaction based on that, whether it's
Right.
aggressive or they're nice or they'll help you out or something like that. It's what
Right.
helps immerse you into the world.
Yeah, I mean honestly, great game and it's a shame that I know it's a money making organization like all video game companies are, but like it's a shame that that game I know that GTA 6 was what like I think that's the highest grossing video game of all time, but like
GTA
GTA
5.
5 GTA
6 is
5
coming out. It was supposed to come
6
out May
yeah,
this year. It's coming out May next year.
right. And to be fair, GTA 6 is going to be the next highest grossing game of all time.
Oh
It will
yeah.
be. Um
Do you remember when that came out? Do you remember like it was when GTA 5 came out, it was right after I think it was Call of Duty, and Call of Duty was like, we just made $1 billion, and then GTA 5 came out, was like, hold my beer.
I mean, that was and again, this is one of the things that's really interesting about video games as a whole. Like that's Marvel money. That's
Hmm.
Marvel money. Like the amount of revenue that will bring in. And again, it's so funny because that game's what? How old is that now? Again, that's probably over 15 years old.
That came out the year that I moved out here. So 13 years ago, 14 years ago?
Right. So at this point, right, this 14-year-old game, I don't even know how much it's made at this point, but like it's so funny that there is like video games are a force to be reckoned with culturally. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, say what you will, like Nico Bellic. People love Nico Bellic. You want Michael and you want you know oh my god, I forgot their names now from GTA 5 because that's the one game I haven't played too much of.
Michael,
There are
Trevor, ringing
Trevor,
any bells?
right? Yeah. So like at the end of the day, the amount of it's this is the weird thing about this industry is you either have there's two flavors. There's every year you get a new release or you're waiting 12 years for a new numbered sequel in a game. And both have their benefits and both have their detriments, man. But like I'll
Yep.
tell you this, like going back to Assassin's Creed, I don't care about Assassin's Creed like I used to. You know what I mean? I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather wait 5 years for a game that I want to play than play a new game every year where I'm like, okay, cool, more of the same. Great. You know?
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I keep hearing that about Call of Duty, and yet they still do it. I'm surprised they haven't learned. But to be fair, it still sells. So why would, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. If again, there's a reason why somebody like me buys another Switch.
Oh,
Just
geez, you can see
at the
my
end of
shirt.
the day, that's a nice shirt. I like that
It's
shirt.
Nintendo. Like the
Nintendo.
schematics of the controller, of the
Oh,
original NES controller.
yeah. Oh my god! Did I send you the link on the odd tinkering guy that like refurbs and rehabs
Yes.
Nintendos? Yeah,
Yes.
so good.
That was so cool. Okay.
All right,
I don't want to keep you any longer if you'd like to get some sleep.
I'm
So,
very tired.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
Well,
Don't.
I hope you've had fun.
Yeah, no, I did. In all honesty, like it's good to get back into it, and we definitely will be doing this again next week. We have not even touched on most of the things on our list, so we can go back in and update and see what's going on with some of this.
And
Like,
we'll have more shit to talk about too from this week. There's
yes,
gonna be
we
so
will.
much more.
And hopefully Mike will be here if he's not too sleep deprived from having a new baby.
Yes. Well, maybe he'll be able to pop in. We'll see. I know he said
Yeah.
he'll see what he can do when he's got some downtime.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you want to hit us up on the socials, we're on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook. That's mainly what I focus on. There's another one in there. Threads. There we go. I couldn't think of it because everything from Instagram gets posted to Threads. Still sharing some video game news, facts, trivia. If you have anything else that we haven't covered or you got some thoughts and opinions, send us an email at theramblepackpod@gmail.com. Other than that, I think it's time for us to hit the hay. So, bye.
Later.